and very great virtues out of compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering, attain bliss and birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tận tình, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, tinh chiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc. Homage of the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One.
Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One.
Namo Saranto Suche Doye Erlahadi San Miao Samputo Xie. Namo Tadakta Toya Daya Alahade Tamio Tambo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma, 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and maintain it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom thus come one's true and actual meaning. Wu shang sheng she wei miao fa bai jie wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jian wen de shou chu yan xie ru lai zhen shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Sixth Patriarch, Venerable Shenhua, Bhikshu, Venerable Bhikshu, Venerable Novice Monks, and all good advisors of Mitofo. 诸佛菩萨、六祖、师父上人、比丘、各位沙弥、各位上师师人弥陀佛。chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Đức Tổ, Hòa Thượng, Tiên Hóa, Thầy và quý Thầy và quý vị thiện trí thức A Di Đà Phật. Okay, today is the 11th of August 2013. We gathered in Rosemead, California to discuss, continue our discussion of Vajra Sutra. First of all, there's some new faces. I'd like to welcome them. Please bear with us because what we just went through is a part of our tradition that's taught by my Chinese teacher. It's meant to, it's a prayer session, prayers that I, as a lecturer, pray for help from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and wise, virtuous ones to have enough wisdom to explain this profound sutra to you. And you are praying that you are able to still your mind and be able to absorb it and to plant the seeds for your future liberation and your attaining of happiness. Okay? All right, we're on slide 588. We're in the midst of explaining the sutra text. It says that Tathagata means thusness of all dharmas. So Tathagata is a Sanskrit word that means the thus come one. This is one of the 10 titles of the Buddha. And you hear this a lot, especially in Mahayana circles where they refer to the Buddha as the Tathagata, because it says this is thus come one. He's the man who came to our world as a man who teaches how to be just like him. no less. We should settle for no less. What is the state of Buddhahood? I don't know, to tell him the truth. I have no idea what it is. I have some ideas, but I don't know it in its totality. Okay. But it is a state of true wisdom. That is, what is wisdom? Wisdom is the ability to detach from marks. Marks are the things that are observable, meaning anything that your six sense organs are able to observe, to gather. For example, you hear music, loud music, good music, bad music. Those are marks. Any kind of characteristics can be perceived is called a mark. Okay? And the nature of the human existence is that we are engaged, our sense organs are constantly engaged with the outside world, and we interact and react to the external stimuli. The external stimuli comes in the form of sound, comes in the form of taste, the food we eat, comes in the forms of shapes, the things you observe, the things you see. What are those? Those are, in Buddhism, they're called dust. Because they're dust, because they are defiling aspects of existence, meaning that dust is something that the name says, it covers up. It covers up the real nature of things and makes it dusty, defiled. Okay, so all these sense organs, these sense data we bring in are called dust because they agitate us. They mask. They make us react to them, and therefore make us agitate. Therefore, we lose sight of our true nature. The true nature, your nature, inherently. Okay, your Buddha nature inherently is still. It's unmoving. It is pure. It is good. Okay? And these dust, the function of these dust, these external stimuli, they excite us. They capture us. That's why we become engaged, and we lose our core, if you will. Okay. Thì đơn giản sơ cái chữ Như Lai có nghĩa là đấng chân như. Chân như là một cái tên của Đức Phật. Đức Phật một cái hồng danh, hồng diệu của Đức Phật, cái biệt hiệu của Đức Phật có nghĩa là cái chân trí huệ nó không bị chấp tướng. Trí huệ của Phật là cái trí huệ chân chính, nó không có bị chấp tướng, có nghĩa là không có chấp vào cái tướng giàu, tướng nghèo, tướng sang, tướng quý phái, hoặc là tướng nghèo khổ, hoặc là tướng bần cùng. Okay. Bất cứ cái tướng là những cái gì mà cái giác quan chúng ta thâu thập vào. Mình thấy được cái gì đó, mình nghe được cái gì đó, mình ngửi được cái gì đó, mình nếm được cái gì đó, tất cả đều là tướng hết. Những cái tướng đó gọi là trần, bụi trần là tại sao? Những cái bụi trần nó khiến chúng ta, nó che đầy cái Phật tánh chúng ta, khiến chúng ta mất cái thanh tịnh. Mất thanh tịnh ở chỗ nào? Tại mỗi lần chúng ta mà tiếp xúc với cái bụi trần ấy, thì tâm chúng ta nó bị dao động. Chẳng hạn như đồ ăn ngon, buổi trưa mình ăn ngon thì cái tâm chúng ta dao động, muốn ăn nhiều thêm. Cái đó mới gọi đồ ăn ngon, gọi là bụi trần, tại vì nó khiến tâm chúng ta bị dao động. Cái tâm Phật tánh chúng ta nó là bất động, nó không có, nó rất là yên tĩnh. Mà chính vì khi chúng ta thiếu trí huệ, là khi mà tiếp xúc với cái cảnh giới bên ngoài đó, chúng ta bị dao động, thành ra bị nao núng. Okay.
Thành bởi vậy mình tu để mình trở về lại cái chân Nhân Lai, để mình chư Như Lai, để mình mở chư hệ chân chính bằng cách mình không bị chấp vào những cái tướng, không chấp tướng. Kinh là kinh chặt tướng, chặt tất cả những cái chấp tướng. Let me remind you, those you are new, this is a sutra, this particular teaching of the Buddha is designed to help us get off our attachments to all the dust. Cái kinh này kinh để mà kinh chặt, giúp chúng ta chặt lìa những cái tướng. Because true wisdom, truly wise people they are apart from marks. They see things, okay? When they interact with the external world, okay, they're not affected by it. For example, when you meet someone and someone insults you, someone is mean to you, okay, you're not offended. You don't feel bad. Okay? Another example, if you meet someone that praise you, you don't feel good either. Okay? You're unaffected. You're even keeled. Okay? Why? Because you're not affected, you're not attached to the mark of praise, nor are you affected by the mark of insults. Either way, okay, you're unruffled. That is true wisdom right there. Okay? Trí huệ là mình không chấp tướng chỗ nào, chấp tướng ở chỗ cái hành động đó. Khi quý vị chẳng như gặp một người đó mà người ta chửi mình, mắng mình không có buồn, không có giận, cái đó không có chướng, hoặc người ta tán thán mình không có mừng, không có thoải mái, sung sướng. Tại sao như vậy? Chúng ta không có chấp vào cái tướng bị chửi hoặc cái tướng được khen. Hai cái tướng đều không chấp hết. All right, any questions about that? Okay, what's the advantage of detaching text? What's the point? Why is it called wisdom? Thầy hỏi là về mình lìa tướng để làm cái gì? Nó lời chỗ nào? What's the advantage?
Allowing you the possibility of being a samadhi.
So what's the point of being in samadhi? What for? Bhante, what's the point? Why does Buddhism teach us that we should be detached from marks? Why? They ask you. We have, you say, okay, so we preach, we feel that you should be apart from marks, not be attached not be affected by external stimuli. And I said, wait a minute, I like going to movies. I like to have a beer with my friend. I like to listen to music. What's wrong with that? You telling me it's bad for me?
No. Okay.
No, it's not bad for you?
Not everything.
Uh-oh. This is... So you're saying that drink more, be more merry, watch more movies. Yeah? Thầy hỏi, mình khi cái gì mà giảng cái Phật Pháp này phải một cách thực tiễn. Chẳng hạn như mình nói người ta tại sao mình lìa tướng nha, không chấp vào tướng để làm cái gì. Thì tại vì có người ta nói bây giờ tôi thích đi cine, tôi thích uống rượu, tôi thích ăn uống. Ok? Thì có hại gì đâu? Có hại gì cho tôi? Tại sao tôi phải lìa tướng làm cái gì? What does it mean? What for?
When we are in some kind of level, then we need the desire to understand the suffering.
You decide what?
We need desire to understand the suffering, because suffering is start from desire.
Very good. See, this is what's impressive about this monk's training. He's very, very solid. His understanding of Buddhism very, very solid. It's very impressive. Very good. You have a hard time using English, but I think I understand you.
I don't know. This is where I need to translate for you. For him, I mean. Either that or you learn Sinhalese. What he's talking about, this is why detachment from mark is a good thing for you. Here's why drinking and smoking and eating and watching TV is not good for you. Boo! Yeah, yeah. What he's referring to is that you may like it temporarily, but it is a form of suffering that you don't realize you're suffering yet. The fundamental of Buddhism is that you think you're having fun only because you're confused. I'm sorry, am I insulting anyone? No. Yeah. Everybody says, no. I go for Neapolitan pizza every now and then. There's no harm in that. Huh? Yes.
Yeah, it seems fun.
It seems like fun. It seems like fun.
In different states.
Give example. Okay, thầy nói cái này cái thầy này cái ông thầy nó không hiểu cái căn bản Phật pháp rất là vững. Căn bản ông thầy nó rất là vững. Ông nói rằng là cái lý do mà mình muốn lìa tướng tại vì mình phải hiểu được cái khổ. Tại sao? Bởi vì thấy cái sướng đó, cái sướng của ăn uống, cái sướng của hưởng thụ đó chỉ là cái sướng tạm thời thôi. Thiệt ra nó là cái khổ, chứ không phải là cái sướng. What he's talking about is that you think you're having fun. It's only because first of all, it's temporary. Number two, actually, to us Buddhists, it's a form of suffering. Okay? Yes?
Confused reaction to things that is not true, not suffering. That's where the confusion comes in. You feel the fun if you're confused.
Right.
So it's a confused reaction
Right.
to what's happening.
Right.
Sometimes I restrict the desire and actually notice it was suffering.
Right. For example, let's face it. Okay, let's talk turkey. Okay, turkey. Oh, excuse me. We're vegetarian too, by the way, but we're not attached to the mark of vegetarian. We talk turkey and chicken and pork. Okay, let's talk turkey. For example, let's say when we drink. Let's face it. When we drink, I remember those days. I don't drink anymore, by the way. And if you believe that. Yeah? Thank you. That's why I always like you. We drink. We have a merry time, right? And we know what's going to happen, don't we? Huh? We drink too much? It's kind of hard to stop, isn't it? I don't know about you. When I was drinking, when I first came to this country, my fellow co-worker invited me out, and we brought back a Southern Comfort bottle. A whole bottle of Southern Comfort. You know Southern Comfort, Ginny? Oh, it is the most comfortable thing from the South. Okay? A whole bottle. And he's a senior programmer, so I sat there with him and said, we finish it tonight. And we did. I crawled back on the floor because I couldn't take it. Okay? So the point here is that it's so much fun initially, but eventually you suffer. That's the beauty of wisdom. Wisdom is that you see the whole picture. You don't see snapshots. You see wisdom? Wisdom is you see the entire picture. It starts out to be fun when you drink. It continues to be fun, okay, for a while. And then all of a sudden, when you reach a certain threshold, it ceases to be fun, right? You drink and you numb even you're drinking. You notice that? At least that's how I remember it. You become numb. You keep on drinking anyway, and you're doing what? You are poisoning yourself. Alcohol, then excess alcohol becomes poison to you. And we keep on doing that. Okay? That's why the Buddha says, yes, you folks, to you folks, it appears to be fun initially, but you don't see the whole picture. To me, as a Buddhist, as a wise person, the Buddha says, I see it as suffering. Okay? It's because we started out with being attached to the mark of the fun from drinking. You see that? That's why when you, okay, let me translate Vietnamese so that they can follow. Thầy nói một cách thực tiễn. Mình nhiều khi mình nói, mình giảng nghĩ, nhiều khi mình hơi nói cao sâu xa mà nó trừu tượng một tí. Mình nói một cách thực tiễn. Giờ tôi hỏi tại sao mình lìa tướng làm cái gì? Lìa tướng có lợi gì? Thầy nói lìa tướng là tại vì lìa tướng như vậy là mình thấy cái khổ mình mới lìa tướng được. Ví dụ có nhiều người á, tôi thích uống rượu. Ok, tôi uống rượu thì Đức Phật thấy người uống rượu đó, xí xí ạ. Thank you. Xí xí ạ.坐下. Mình uống rượu thì lúc đầu là thầy còn nhớ nữa đó. Lúc đầu uống rượu thì thấy hứng thú, thấy thích thú. Ok. Nhưng để thích thú một thời gian là mình cái khổ của uống rượu là mình uống thì mình không có ngừng được. Uống càng ngày càng uống càng nhiều thì càng say thì bắt đầu thấy nó khổ. Là tại sao? Mình bị say này, mình nói tầm bậy tầm bạ này, mình nói những chuyện mình không nên nói này, tiết lộ những chuyện mình không tiết lộ này. Ok. Mình đủ cái thứ tai hại cái rượu mà uống nhiều quá nó thành cái độc tố trong cái cơ thể chúng ta. Thành chúng ta không thấy rằng cái người trí huệ, ta thấy một cái tất cả cái sự kiện, chứ không thể nói là thấy từng chút thôi. Ta thấy cái đầu vui, rồi từ từ nó biến chuyển thành cái khổ. Đức Phật nói tại sao mình trồng cái nhân mà như cái mình chấp vào cái tướng là uống rượu, cái thích của cái uống rượu, thích của cái hưởng thụ, nó sẽ đem tới cái khổ. Nếu quý vị nhìn thấy mà lâu dài, nhìn thấy rõ ràng, thiệt ra cái sung sướng đó nó chỉ tạm bợ thôi, nó sẽ đem tới cái khổ cho quý vị. Ok? Cái đó là trí huệ. Bởi vì mình lìa tướng ở tại vì chúng ta cái tướng đó, cái tướng của cái khổ. Quý vị nghĩ kỹ lại cho coi. Tất cả cái tướng đó đều là tướng khổ. So what does it mean? Going back to the concept of being apart from marks. Marks, remember, are the things in your sensory organs. The mark of a good time. The mark of drinking. The mark of eating. The mark of pleasure. Okay? The mark of pleasant forms. Of beautiful forms. Okay? All those are marks. If you detach from marks because you distance from them because they are the source of your suffering. We can't, can we? But the point is that the Buddha is not saying you must. He says you should be aware of it. You should decide for yourself. You should be aware that if you nurture your attachment to the marks, then you are planting the seeds for your own suffering. Okay? If you detach from it, what's the advantage of detachment from it? Thì quý vị thấy không? Đức Phật nói quý vị khi mà còn chấp tướng là quý vị thực sự đang tạo cái nhân cho cái khổ của mình. Quý vị còn chấp cái tướng gì? Cái tướng ăn ngon. Ok, đồ ăn ngon, một cái tướng chấp vào cái đó là nó tạo cái khổ cho mình. Ok. Chấp vào cái tướng sung sướng. Ok, là mình tạo cái khổ cho mình. Thành tất cả những cái tướng nó đem tới cái khổ sở cho mình. Thế bởi vậy mình lìa tướng nó làm cái gì? Lời làm chi? What is the practical benefits of being apart from marks? Bhante, next level. Yes. Suffering is fundamental. Yes. So what's the point in being apart from marks? What's the advantage?
You mean that
Why should they do it? They say, okay, so I agree with you. So eventually, yes, I like drinking. I realize drinking eventually will bring me into trouble. Okay? So you're telling me that I should stop drinking. But I said, but I can't. Okay, but I can't. What are you going to do? You have to convince them, if you can get off that attachment to drinking, then what is the reason for them to do that? See, the Americans' bounty is very different. The people here are different from Sri Lanka. You have to give them a reason, a very persuasive reason, before they buy into it, before they believe it.
The realization is very important to follow the Buddhist way.
Okay. The point here is that now you realize that all these marks eventually they create attachment to you, which eventually lead you into suffering, lead you into undesirable consequences. We all agree on that. Is it clear? You name it. Can you, by the way, give me an example or mark you attached to, you believe that really is not a suffering? Như thầy nói chung á, tất cả những cái tướng mà quý vị mà chấp vào đó, nó đều đem sự đau khổ sở tới quý vị. Thầy xin hỏi quý vị ngày hôm nay, có ai cho thầy một cái ví dụ, quý vị chấp một cái tướng mà quý vị thấy là không có khổ? Can you tell me, for example, anyone, give me an attachment of yours that is not suffering at all? Cho thầy một cái ví dụ mà quý vị chấp vào cái gì đó mà không phải là khổ. Yes? Yes. Mr. Texas. Songwriting is not a form of suffering. Ông này nói tôi mà khi tôi sáng tác ra cái bài hát á, cái đó không phải là khổ. I'm speechless. I never knew anything about songwriting, so I'm still struggling. Anyone who has experience about this, you see, he's throwing a curve. Hey, John, come and help me out. Don't sit there in the dining hall and do nothing. So now Tex is challenging me. He says, I write songs, I love it. I see no suffering in it. What do you think? Quý vị nghĩ sao? By the way, he used to. He's a performer. He was a performer. He is a performer. And attachment. Why is he suffering? He sees no sufferings in it. Yeah. He doesn't see the suffering because he's so attached to it. It's like you see in the mountain. That's why you can't see the mountain. Huh? You write a lot about suffering, but you don't think it's suffering. Composing a song, writing a song is just suffering to you. Câu này nói tôi sáng tác nhạc, tôi không thấy gì khổ hết á. Let me think. Yes. Khổ chỗ nào? Khổ chỗ nào? Còn Ngân, ông Ngân nói tôi sáng tác bài nhạc tôi không thấy gì khổ hết.
Ông sáng tác cái nhạc ra để cho ta nghe càng khổ thêm nữa, người ta mê.
She says this woman here has a Buddhist. Yes, John. Oh, thank you for coming. Thank you. Sit down.
Suffering in the songwriting.
Yes.
When one day when the words don't come anymore and you want to write.
Thank you. Okay, you can go back. Writer's block. You experienced that, haven't you? Huh? You experienced that, haven't you?
That's right.
It hurts, doesn't it? When you just can't produce anymore.
Well, that's not right. That's failure.
Failure to write. He says our artist says it's not writing. Actually, it's failure to write. So it's two different activities.
When you're writing, there's no suffering.
When you're writing, is no suffering.
When you're failing, there's some suffering.
Okay, so John, come back, John.
That's right.
No. You are right too. It's two different things. Okay, let's beat this horse to death. we need your intellectual prowess. So he says, did you hear that?
When the writing comes out right, it's right. But what happens when all I can think of writing, I'm going, tonight I love my dumb blondes, and I know I'm going to offend a bunch of them, and you know it's not right. The words don't come out right.
No, he said to him. You see, this is interesting because he says you have to explain to him from his perspective. You can't explain from us. Our perspective, we see suffering, right? Right? We all understand suffering, but to him, he doesn't understand suffering yet. Text. He says, if I cannot write a song, it is suffering. It's true. But when I write a song, I see no suffering in there.
And John hears a song and he goes, text, your song stinks. You wrote the song, you loved it, and John thinks it stinks.
What? Isn't that suffering? You're writing a stinking song. Well, to dismiss, you don't buy that? Bhante, help him out. Come on, he's not impressed with the intellectual approach. What's wrong with writing a song? He said, I feel good when I write a song. There's no suffering in there at all.
It is a start of some kind of suffering.
Some kind of suffering. This guy is good. He says,
but he don't.
It's a start of some kind of suffering.
But he does not feel that.
He does not feel that.
That's why he say like that.
He's very solid. He's very, very solid. I know. I'm impressed more and more impressed with Hinayana Buddhism. Thầy nói là khi mình giảng, người ta phải giảng theo cái phương diện người ta. Thầy không nói là tôi không biên nhạc rồi tôi buồn, thì tôi biên nhạc tôi sướng. Thì thầy mới hỏi mình giảng, thì ông này nếu mình đồng ý là ông Kim ông nói là ông Kim biên nhạc ông sướng như vậy, thì thầy hỏi khổ chỗ nào, thì ông thầy này mới nói là khổ mà không biết. Khổ mà không biết. Dễ sợ không? Ông này cũng vững lắm. Cái căn bản Phật giáo ông thầy rất là vững. You have potential, my young friend. Okay. Very good. Okay, so let them elaborate. Okay. When he sees happiness in composing a song, okay, is that really happiness?
Already there is attachment. So when he has attachment, we cannot say it is happiness.
The fundamental, what he is explaining is very, very, you all have to remember this. As long as there is an attachment, there can be no true happiness.
Well, maybe there's a lot of joy in it.
It's only temporary.
I wouldn't say it's permanent joy.
Temporary. Okay. So what happens? We go through lives, searching and pursuing these temporary things. And the Buddha says, why do you do that? Look for something more permanent, for something more longer lasting. I haven't figured that one out yet. Yes, John.
How do you reach enlightenment?
Yeah. That's a form of suffering, my friend. when you say, when you still attach to those types of people, it's a form of attachment. Therefore, it's suffering. And you don't realize how much suffering there is to try to save them. Đại khái như vậy nè. Mình không cần biết bất cứ chấp trước nào đó. Quý vị còn một cái chấp trước đó, cái đó là cái khổ ngay lập tức. Mình khổ, mình không biết, nó dễ sợ như vậy. Mình không thấy là khổ, mình chưa thấy là khổ, mình nghĩ là nó hay. Okay? There is a very, very subtle form of suffering. That is, you are so sure that you're doing the right thing. That your attachment is the right thing. And you cannot be persuaded otherwise. Why? Because any form of attachment, as Bhante just said, is suffering. Any kind of attachment. Thành quý vị chỉ cần nhớ, còn bất cứ cái chấp trước nào đó là mình vẫn còn khổ. Mà cái khổ này khổ dễ sợ, cái khổ này khổ rất là tế nhị. Khổ mà mình không biết là khổ. The Buddha likens this to this. The Buddha gives a very, very beautiful analogy. Đức Phật cho một cái ví dụ rất là hay. Ví dụ là giống như Đức Phật nhìn chúng ta như một nhóm con nít đang chơi trong nhà, vui vẻ chơi đồ chơi những cái trò chơi đó. Mà nó không thấy rằng là nó đang ở cái nhà đó đang cháy. Nó sắp chết tới nơi mà nó không biết. Cái khổ nó dễ sợ mà không biết. Nó đang vui chơi, không thấy được cái khổ lớn hơn của nó, cái nguy hiểm lớn nhất của nó, rồi nó sắp chết tới nơi rồi. Thành ra cái khổ sung sướng nó, thiệt ra cái sung sướng nó đang vui chơi nó, thiệt ra là cái khổ, tại nó đang bị lâm nạn mà không biết. The Buddha likens this to this very beautiful analogy. He says it's like when I watch all of you, okay, men and women, men and women, okay, what happened to Joseph? Young and old, okay, short and tall, okay, white and yellow, okay. I see you as if all of you. This is Buddha said. I see all of you as children who are playing with the toys. And you're having so much fun. Okay? But you're playing inside of a house that's burning. And it won't be long before you cannot get out anymore. That is suffering. Because you don't even realize you're suffering. To you, you're having fun. But to the Buddha, he says, your house is burning. You're about to lose your life. Do you get the message? Do you get the image? Quý vị thấy cái hình ảnh nó hay dễ sợ không? Quý vị đang vui vẻ, đang sung sướng bây giờ này, quý vị không biết rằng cái màn sống mình sắp chấm dứt rồi. Khi mình chấm dứt thì chuyện gì xảy ra? Mình đọa mà mình không biết. Your suffering right there is something you don't perceive yet, because this is why what makes Buddhism very difficult to explain and alienate a lot of people. He said, I like to have fun with my friends. I like to go and have a normal life. I like to go see a movie, go to a restaurant with my friends afterwards. Or go over to my friend's house and have a good time with my friend. What's wrong with that? That's happiness to me. The Buddha says, no, it isn't. Even if you save all the gorgeous dumplings in the world, you are suffering still. Okay? Why? You don't even realize you're suffering because you're wasting time. You're wasting precious time. You're wasting the chance to get out of a burning house while you still can. Isn't that suffering, sir? If you enjoy your writing, there's nothing wrong with enjoying writing a song. But your suffering is that you're dying. You're wasting time. You're losing precious time, precious opportunity to get out of danger. Isn't that suffering, after all? Because you enjoy playing so much that you lost sight of the big picture. Does it make sense to you, Bhante? You have to explain to them in terms of clear perspective. You can't simply give them only principles. That's not good enough. Okay? The Buddhist teaching, Bhante, is about action. It's not about knowledge. What I just explained to him is that he says, I enjoy doing this. In doing that, he commits himself so that, okay, he misses out on the proper course of action. That is better for him. Isn't that suffering? If you, let me put it this way. If suppose you know that between writing a song, the act of writing a song, and the other act of another act, what is better for you, has higher utility. If you ask the financial manager, who says, the writing a song can bring you this much pleasure. Suppose you have to do something else that gives you even more utility, higher pleasure, higher return. Which one would you choose? You choose a higher, right? All we have to prove to him that writing a song of suffering is give him something higher, like becoming a monk.
Nice try.
I resent that. I like you less now than before. Anh thầy nói là tại sao? Quý vị nghĩ cho coi, người ta chỉ cái sung sướng tạm thời thôi, ta thấy cái sung sướng mà ta quên rằng ta có một cái chuyện làm khác nó quan trọng hơn cái đó, mà nó có lợi hơn cho họ. Nếu như họ cái vị trí so sánh, chẳng hạn như bây giờ thay vì tôi sung sướng, tôi ăn uống sung sướng, hoặc là tôi đi làm cái chuyện khác, dạng tôi tu, thì quý vị thấy cái tu nó lợi hơn nhiều. Nếu trong thời gian mà tí thì giờ mà hưởng thụ như vậy, thay vì bỏ thì giờ, bỏ sức lực, bỏ cái phước báo mình mà đi tu, đi làm việc khác nó có lợi hơn, thì quý vị nghĩ cái nào đó, quý vị sẽ chọn cái nào? Đương nhiên mình chọn cái lợi hơn cho mình, đúng không? Thì rõ ràng cái người đang chọn mà đang hưởng thụ đó, tại vì chưa thấy được cái lời kia thôi, họ khổ mà họ chưa thấy. Dễ sợ không? Đức Phật cái trí huệ dễ sợ không? Nó rõ ràng như vậy đó, chứ không phải trừu tượng nó nghe. Buddhism is very, very practical. Okay? The Buddha is never about theories. It's about why is it beneficial for you? What I'm telling you, why the Buddhist teaching is beneficial to you? Because it makes sense to you. Okay? Okay, so going back to this example. We still an example. Can you give me an example of something you do that is not suffering? So, Mr. Songwriter, are you convinced now that writing a song is not necessarily, is actually the form of suffering? She has been going on like this for 5 years. It takes him about 3 weeks before he gets it. He said, I disagree with you. But I come back next week and see what happens. You see that? This is a beautiful imagery. We are a bunch of children playing obliviously to the danger that surrounds us. That is suffering. So your pleasure is actually a form of suffering, isn't it? You're deluding yourself. But we can't help it, can we?
No.
So we like suffering. Yes, Vicky.
Well, I was thinking that everything in this world promotes us to enjoy everything. Everything commercial or anything that's on television to sell you anything. It's all a form of suffering because it's all outward.
Okay, that's right. So what is the nature of suffering here? They're going to ask. So here these new people say, suffering? Okay. So you sound a little bit convincing. But why? What is this suffering here you keep on talking, you Buddhists keep on talking about? What is it? What's the nature? Why are we suffering? What's the cause of this suffering? Right? Why is it suffering? Why are you suffering? Because you are suffering as long as what? As long as you're attached. Okay? So far so good. Mình sẽ khổ khi nào mình còn chấp trước. And why are you attached? Tại sao mình chấp trước? Why are you attached? Tại sao mình chấp trước? Tại vì còn bản ngã. Cái nguồn gốc của cái khổ mình là cái bản ngã. So you see, the Buddha says, as long, from this slide 588 here, as long as you have an attachment, you're suffering, you don't realize it. Okay? What is the nature of the attachment? Because we attach because we have an ego. So as long as you have an ego, you are suffering. Who is attached? The ego is attached, no one else. Okay? It's the ego who says, I like to write a song. I like to save all the dumb blondes in the world. Okay? I like to eat. I like to go to the movies. It's the I that is suffering. As long as you have an I, then you're suffering. That's what the Buddha says. I like to play. I like to have a lot of money. I like to spend time with my friend. So when your friend doesn't want to spend time with you anymore, guess what happens? I'm happy. I'm unhappy. When your wife doesn't love you anymore, she loves someone else better, you are so unhappy. Right? Because of the I. So you say, maybe I find someone else. Okay? It is an I searching again, searching for love. Then you're suffering already, aren't you? Yes. Then you find love. Are you any happier? Temporarily, yes. For a while. Speaking from experience. Okay? Do you see the nature of the I is that it finds temporary satisfaction. It keeps on seeking more and more temporary satisfaction. That's why it's never satisfied. You have to play a new game, right? You have to get a new car. You have to get a bigger house. You have to get a more loving wife. Vicky, here we go again. I don't know how much more I can take this male chauvinistic thing. No, it's factual, honey. Actually, the truth can be said of women. Exactly same thing, you know. Exact same thing. It's not restricted to the males only. Do you know that the women don't talk about it? They do the same exact thing. You know, you like to look at girls. They like to look at men. I know that because I see these women look around in grocery in supermarkets. eyeballing man. The Buddha is not sexist at all, by the way. Whatever he says, men apply to women just as well. There's no difference. Okay? Difference in you. Women look at you as equally confused. Okay. Thì cái tại vì nó còn bản ngã thì mình còn khổ. Cái bản ngã khi nó đòi sướng là nó đang khổ, không? Thành ra mình hiểu cái chấp trước là còn cái chấp trước là tại vì còn cái sự hiện diện của bản ngã. Thành khi mình bớt chấp trước như vậy thì bản ngã nó càng ngày bớt tung hoành. Okay, so far so good. To see the source. This is very Buddhist. Fundamentally the Buddha says you're suffering because you still have an ego that wants this, that wants that. It's not happy about this, not happy about that. Okay? So it attaches. So the ego manifests itself as attaching to things. Okay? Cái bản ngã nó lồ ra bằng cách mình chấp bằng cái chấp trước. Okay? So if you spot your attachment, then you know behind it there's an ego. Okay? So if you want to be less unhappy, then detach. The Buddha is very wise, is beautiful Buddhist wisdom. Okay? Thành ra cái vị thấy không? Cái Phật giáo mình á, cái lời dạy Đức Phật đó rất là thâm sâu. Ngài nói đó, nếu quý vị thấy một chấp trước á, là có cái bản ngã là phải nhận ra cái khổ từ cái bản ngã. Thành quý vị bằng bớt khổ bằng cách nào? Bằng cách là mình chặt cái chấp trước mình, cái bản ngã nó càng ngày nó càng yếu thì mình sẽ bớt khổ. Tại sao? Cái trí huệ Phật giáo mình á, cái hạnh phúc ở chỗ trừ cái khổ chứ không phải tìm cái sướng. Mình nhìn cái khổ mà nó không muốn nữa, thì lúc đó mình mới sướng được. Thấy rõ không? This is the beauty of the Buddhist wisdom. This came from a Chinese Niels, so you can be proud of it. That now we're sharing with you. Or is it Sri Lankan? The Buddhist wisdom, he says, we're telling you all these bad news for what reason? Okay? Yes, I'm just like you. The Buddha is just like us. He says, I want to be happy just like you. But I know how to get there. You don't. Okay? He says, in order for you to be happy, the trick is do exactly the opposite of what you're doing every day. What does he mean? What does it mean? Every day you get up in the morning and you say, this is another beautiful day. I'm going to go and do something and search for my happiness. Am I correct? Is that what you do, John? Yes, thank you. Anyone else? We all do that, right? You're all smart, right? I'm going to make myself, it's going to be a better day today. It's going to be a great day today. Kim Deer said, yeah, every day I'm happy. I'm going to make it better than yesterday. Okay, hey, baby. Okay. Yeah, she's very positive. Okay. And this is no rah-rah. This is Buddha Dharma, Kim Deer. Please control yourself. We have to be dignified here. Okay, so every day we get up, we say, I'm going to search for my happiness. I'm going to make myself happy today. Okay? And that's confusion. That's confusion. It's an act of confusion. Isn't that interesting? Think about it. It's an act of confusion. If you go and keep on seeking, like John does, he looks for the next guy to pull his teeth out. That's his fun. He's not harmless at writing a song. He actually takes the pair of what is it, pliers, and pull it out from you. Okay?
So satisfying.
So that's what. See, coming from the professional guru, okay, the teeth doctor. We shall not tell you where he works, okay. But the point here is that if you are seeking for happiness, what's wrong with that? Quý vị nhớ lại cho coi, nếu buổi sáng quý vị thức dậy mà nói ngày hôm nay tôi sẽ tìm cách mà hạnh phúc hơn, sẽ sung sướng hơn ngày hôm qua, thì như vậy nó sai chỗ nào? You're attached to the mark of happiness, aren't you? Thì mình đang chấp vào cái tướng hạnh phúc, đúng không? You're nurturing, you're reinforcing the ego. So it's okay to look for happiness. You're reinforcing, you're feeding a guy who's going to make you unhappy. Right there. Think about it. So what's so great about it, text? We say, text gets up in the morning and says, today, I feel it. I feel it already. Today, I'm going to write the most wonderful song that ever composed, has ever been composed. I will write a song. It will make me so happy. That's confusion. Because I'm attached to writing a song. See that? You start off the wrong foot. How can you possibly be happy? This is depressing. This is how I used to live my life. I would get up and say, today I'm going to make more money. Seriously, that's how I used to live. Today, I want to make more money. Today, I'm going to bring my girlfriend to this great restaurant. Go dancing. And be happy. And those were good times. You see, if you decide, if you start off like that, you are, it's an exercise of futility. You're pursuing your own shadow. You cannot possibly find real happiness. All you're doing is feeding your ego, making it stronger, and in the end result, you cannot be happy. Quý vị thấy không? Cái đức Phật dạy rất là hay. Buổi sáng quý vị thức dậy và nói ngày hôm nay tôi sẽ tìm cái hạnh phúc, tôi tìm cái gì mà tôi làm, tôi sẽ mua cái nhà lớn hơn, mua chiếc xe đẹp hơn, tôi làm nhiều tiền hơn. Là quý vị bắt đầu cuộc đời mình, cái ngày của mình bằng quyết định tìm cái bất hạnh của mình. Tại sao vậy? Mình chỉ nuôi dưỡng cái bản ngã của mình thôi. Làm sao mà hạnh phúc được? Quý vị cái chạy theo những cái đòi hỏi của bản ngã quý vị không thể nào hạnh phúc được. And this is a fallacy of the ordinary people's model of happiness. Okay? Do we agree on that? No one agrees with me. That proves my point. You are all confused. Your approach is wrong. I'm not saying you must be unhappy. All I'm saying is your approach is wrong.
You're not describing what I do. You get up every morning and meditate. That's not what you do.
No, that's also unhappiness. I get up and meditate. Boy, it's still unhappiness. You don't do anything. You get up and say, okay, whatever happens, happens. And that's the highest form of meditation, by the way, here. Whatever happens, happens. That's the highest form of meditation.
Oh, so the hippie was right.
Hmm?
So the hippie was right.
Yeah, hippie was right. But before you get there, you have to understand how to get there. The hippies don't know how to get there. They think they know, but they don't. Okay? Alright. Quý vị thấy, thì bây giờ làm sao mình tìm hạnh phúc bây giờ? Tìm ý nghĩa trong cuộc đời mình bây giờ. Okay? I will tell you, as I know you about you text, but you're still young, you don't know what I'm talking about. But the problem with people, well, you find out as you get older, when you get to be my age. You, on my level of wisdom, whichever comes first, you realize that you find something else. You realize you need something else more out of life than simply these pleasures. Something maybe John calls it meaning out of life, saving others. Okay, so the premise in order for you to have a chance of finding happiness is what? Is to detach, not attach. You see that? Is that simple? Quý vị thấy không? Là quý vị muốn tìm cái chân hạnh phúc đó, là không phải đi đeo đuổi những cái tham muốn của mình phải đi ngược lại, mình chặt những cái tham muốn của mình thì mình mới thấy hạnh phúc được. Because if you detach, okay, then you have one less cause for your suffering. Agree?
One less cause for suffering?
For suffering. Agree? It's simple mathematics. Okay? Instead of attaching, instead of going and make more money will make you suffer more, Jimmy. You understand it, Ginny? It's better to be poor like me. Because I realize that more money will not make me happier. Somehow I'm still struggling with that. So give me time, okay? The point here is that, theoretically speaking, I know you don't believe me. I don't believe myself either.
Well, wait a minute, but you're right. There is a point.
I can only explain theory. I can't do it. Okay.
There really is a point.
Yes.
For having more money, this is totally suffering. I'm not sure exactly where it is.
It's probably $10. Would you say $10 or 11?
No, I'd say it's like millions.
Okay, for tax it's millions. Yes, John.
Two things were in order here. Quoting Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was just as happy when I had $38 million as I have $50 million today. Quote number one and number two, to detach, like I say, is so hard to do because even the simplest things like a nice hot shower at the end of the day, I'm attached to that.
Okay, that's point number two. Okay, yeah. I'm coming to the shower later. I'm still struggling with money, okay?
Okay, be happy at $38 million.
Be happy with the place to live and not having to worry about food.
The point here is that you need the couple of things. We have to agree on theory first of all, because I can't prove anything to you. Well, I think we agree, all of us agree that logically speaking, if you attach, you're feeding the ego, therefore you cannot be happy. So the better chance for you is to cut off instead of adding more, right? You simplify. You don't add. Then you have a better chance. Because the more you add, the stronger your ego. The more reason for you, another reason for you to be unhappy. If you detach, one less reason to be unhappy, right? So you see, you're in the right direction. We all agree on that, right? In theory, please don't ask me whether I can do it or not. I tell you right now, I can't. Okay, but I can only explain to you in theory, like Bhante here. In theory, this is what we should be doing.
You can do it some. You can do it some. There's a theory that you can apply sometimes.
We're working on it. At least you should know. You should know it's just like you should know what you should be doing, but it takes time for you to do it. Right? Just like you learn a new trade. You think you can do it right away? You can become a plumber right away? It takes years. You think you can become a dentist right away after you finish dental school? No. 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks, he says. Vì thấy không? Thành ra mình hiểu rằng là mình phải cái kế hoạch chúng ta, cái chiến lược chúng ta là phải thay vì mà chạy theo đeo đuổi, mình phải chặt chứ không phải mình thêm. Tại vì mỗi lần mình theo cái dục vọng mình thì mình trồng thêm cái nhân để cho mình khổ sau này. Mình tròn thêm cái khổ. Ngược lại, nếu mình đi ngược lại, cái người phàm phu, người thường phàm phu ta làm như vậy, ta chuyên môn, ta cộng, ta thêm, ta đòi thêm, ta thêm tiền, thêm đồ ăn, thêm nhà, thêm xe, thêm con, thêm cái. Ok? Nhất là con cái. Thêm đứa con phải là nhức đầu hơn không? I explain in Vietnamese, it's dawn to me now. I talk to these women, that's why it dawned to me. He says, they want more children. Okay? That's one more reason, or at least 10 million more reasons to be unhappy. Không? Thêm đứa con phải là khổ 1 triệu lý do khác để mà khổ thêm không? Đúng không? Mình có thêm, mình phải đi ngược lại, mình phải bớt cái chấp trước đi, mình bớt cái tham dục đi. Thì như vậy từ từ mình đi vào cái hướng mà nó hướng thượng. Còn nếu mình thêm là mình đỏ xuống, mình đi xuống. You know what happened is that it's gravity is real. If the more you get, the heavier it gets, the more you sink. If you lighten your load, you will lift a lot easier. You ascend easier. Is it clear? It's the right direction. We agree on that. Okay? Đồng ý không? Okay? So, if you understand the principle behind this, you have to learn to detach. Okay? And we all agree it's not easy to detach. Is it? Do you know that the gods up there, in the skies, in the heavens, I heard that the Muslim gods have at least 74 virgins who make them very happy. No Muslim here today. No one is nodding their heads. Because that's why they kill themselves. That's right. That's what I heard. I'm no Muslim. I only read what I read from the newspaper. Okay? So the point here is that, even the gods, when they enjoy themselves up there, they're adding, they're not subtracting. Okay? They're adding to their unhappiness. Supposedly. John is not impressed. Oh well. So we all know that it's not easy to detach. We know we should, but it's not easy. That's why we must learn how to detach. Okay? There's a way you can learn to detach. Thì ai cũng biết là mình cần bớt cái chấp trước. Đều mình muốn bớt cái chấp trước mình, chặt cái chấp trước mình đâu phải là dễ đâu, đúng không? Ăn ngon sao mà nó chặt một cách dễ dàng được, đúng không? Phải có cái phương pháp chứ. Mình phải gạt cái chấp trước chứ. So you need a methodology. Okay? Doesn't matter. No matter whether you're Buddhist or non-Buddhist, it's the same thing, the same principles. Okay? If you encumber yourself, you make yourself more unhappy. You're not doing yourself any favor. If you shed, Okay? You simplify. Then you have less reasons to be unhappy. And this is therein lies the Buddhist wisdom. Buddhist wisdom is that if you are able to shed your attachments, cut them off, sever your attachment one after another, until you have no attachment left. That state of zero attachments is a state of utter happiness. That's Buddhist wisdom. Quý vị nghe không? Cái Phật giáo mình á rất là sâu xa, mà rất là thực tiễn. Mình hiểu rằng á cái ngã, nếu mình nuôi ngã là mình sẽ khổ. Ok? Thì mình muốn mà sung sướng, mình phải chặt những cái chấp trước đó. Nên quý vị biết không? Khi mà quý vị cứ tiếp tục chặt cái chấp trước, từng lớp chấp trước á, thì khi quý vị tới cảnh giới mà quý vị không còn chấp trước nữa, thì lúc đó nó thiệt sự là sung sướng. Đúng đó không? Đó là cái bí mật của Phật giáo mình mà người phàm phu ta không thấy được. This is the difference between the Buddhist wisdom and ordinary wisdom. Ordinary wisdom says add, hoard. Okay? Buddhist wisdom says let go. You let go, you'll be happier. You hoard, you'll be less happy. Questions or comments? Ai có ý kiến thắc mắc gì không? Yes.
So, what is a methodology for detaching? Are we still getting to that?
What's a methodology for detaching? Sao mình chặt? There are plenty of ways that we learn. The Buddhists know how to do. The one thing that you will find is that you just yourself decide. It's no big deal. Then you detach. It's that simple. It's no big deal. That's the ultimate form of detachment. That's the ultimate methodology. See through it. Put it down. Let go. Okay? Cái phương pháp, ông hỏi cái phương pháp mà muốn xả bỏ là sao? Thì nó có nhiều phương pháp, Phật giáo rất có nhiều phương pháp thiền, rồi phương pháp tụng chú, rồi này nọ, nấu ăn, rồi tạo phước, tất cả nhiều phương pháp. Rồi cuối cùng, phương pháp tối thượng là mình chỉ xả thôi, mình vất nó thôi. You know that there's a layman in a chant folklore, in the meditation folklore. Bên cái thiền tông chúng ta có câu chuyện cái ông cư sĩ họ Bằng đó, giàu dễ sợ không? Phản layman, Chinese phản layman is very very famous in a Chinese meditation anecdotes. He's wealthy. He's a wealthy man. And one day he says, I want to be happier. So you know what he did? He put all his worldly possessions, back then in China, they have these rings of gold coins, Roberta. Okay? So money comes in the form of gold coin like this. In the center is a hole. There's a square hole. Okay? And you string these things. You stick a string in through them. That's how you carry money. Okay? You don't carry money in wallet, Roberta. You carry money on your shoulders. In those rings. Okay? So he loaded all his gold coins into a boat. And he went out to the ocean. Dumped it on the ocean. He says, it's a gift to you. And he came back. And he meditated. And he became enlightened. And he became happy. Okay? So that's the folklore. It's very famous in the Chinese folklore. It says, this is the Chinese wisdom. Thành ra cái vị biết không, cái cư sĩ họ Bang đó, ông giàu dễ sợ lắm. Ông ngày xưa cái tiền là những tiền tròn nó bằng sắt, bằng đồng, bằng vàng. Rồi cái vị ở giữa có cái lỗ vuông, cái vị đem tiền đấy là sâu cái tiền, sâu cái chuỗi có cái tiền, biết không? Đem tiền hồi xưa như vậy, không phải trong giỏ như cái vị đâu, giỏ cái vị nó sẽ rớt xuống ngay. Anh cái vị cầm cái tay á, ok, cái tay để treo những cái vòng tiền như vậy đó. Nhà giàu tới như vậy, ok. Thành ra ông đó ông để tất cả củ cải ông trên chiếc thuyền đó, ông đem ra chèo ra ngoài biển, lật cái thuyền, ông đổ xuống biển, nói cúng cho Long Vương. Xong ông về ông nghèo dễ sợ, thì bạn bè ông mới là cảm động, mới quyên tiền lại xây một cái nhà để cho ông ở, ok. Xong rồi ông ở đó ông tu, sau này ông giác ngộ, bỏ hết tất cả. You see, this is very, very, very colorful part of the Chinese wisdom of civilization, because here's a man who's very smart. You become rich without being smart, okay? And he says, I'm going to give all my money and throw it all away. That's fascinating. The Chinese are fascinated by that. They're proud of that. They say, yeah, that's Chinaman for you. Can you imagine people doing that? Can you imagine? I never heard of any Vietnamese doing that. Kim Diem, have you? Not American either? All his fortune. I'm not talking about giving away half of your fortune like Warren Buffett. Okay? We're not talking about. He's talking about everything he has, dump it on the ocean. That's Chinese. I haven't heard anyone do that. Hả? Có người Trung Hoa nó nổi tiếng ở đó là tại vì có mình ông đó là vì trong lịch sử mà mình lấy tất cả củ cải mình mất hết, không giữ là một xu nữa. He didn't keep even one single coin, none. I know you modern day people think it's crazy, but that's Chinese wisdom for you. Even the Chinese don't believe it.同意不同意？可以，办得到吗？做得到吗？我相信你不可以，没办法，What do you think? Yes. Yes.
There must be some payback for the opera. You think it's started?
He didn't even keep a single cent. What do you think? He came back and his friends, his relatives, his friends heard of it. So they said, okay, you're a good man, so I'm going to build you a house for you to stay so that you have a roof over your head. And you know what he does? He makes sandals. Back then they make sandals and a basket, a weave basket out of reed. And goes to the market and sells them and makes enough money to buy rice, buy food, to feed his family. That's it. It turns out it's a funny thing. You don't realize it. I know you Americans will like this. And then he stays away from his wife. He didn't divorce his wife. He just stayed away from her. He stayed away from her, and his daughter took care of him until the way he died. Until So what is funny? The family, there are four of them: the father who gave the money away, the wife, the son, and the daughter. So the father and the daughter stayed together, cultivated together, practiced together. The son and the daughter stay together, and they all four became enlightened. The wife never said. He never complained. She never complained to him. You know that? The only wife I heard of. Quý vị biết không? Chuyện cái ông này dễ sợ lắm, là ông bỏ hết tất cả tài sản như vậy, mà vợ ông không than phiền một tiếng nữa luôn, dễ sợ như vậy, kinh hoàng không? Vợ không than một tiếng nữa, con không than một tiếng, con trai không than một tiếng, con gái không than một tiếng. Thành ra cha với con gái tu chung với nhau, con trai với mẹ tu chung với nhau. This is a beautiful thing about the Chinese culture. You don't understand that. Okay? This, it symbolizes filiality. The daughter served her father to take care. She never married, she never dated, she never went to movies or even her boyfriend, even have a boyfriend. She took care of her father. And the son didn't have a girlfriend, never got married. He worked in the field, he farmed in the field and makes enough money to support his mother. So they stay separate like that. They stay in touch and never divorce. It's fascinating. This is why it's so colorful, the story. Hay dễ sợ. Con gái thì phục vụ cho cha, con trai phục vụ cho mẹ. Họ trung thành nhưng mà có hiếu như vậy. Họ chia ra ở riêng như vậy. So they live separately. And all four of them became enlightened. 4 người đều giác ngộ. Isn't that cool? I never heard of that. I know that, when you get older and your children say, who are you leaving your money to? Don't give it to the temple, because we need it more than the temple. Okay? Let alone give it away to the Dragon King, to the ocean. Okay? Okay, now some of you, since I know you're a little bit scared of me, so you don't dare ask this question. So I asked it myself. Question is, what's so wise about giving away your money like that? Can't you do charity work? Can you give it to, let's say, a church? It's better than wasting it. No? What's wise about that, Kim did? Huh? I don't think the Vietnamese would do that. They said, no, I think I'm smarter than the Chinese. I would rather give it to a synagogue instead of wasting it. Well, I know, you guys are always talking when I'm lecturing. Not you, but the women, they're all talking. Yeah? 什么简单? But ask her, explain what's so wise about giving your money, throwing it out down the ocean? Seems to be such a waste. Jeannie says, at least give me, a few $1 million. I put a good use on your behalf. Huh? No? No, but it's a waste. I'm talking about waste. For the Americans, especially modern day people, we find it hard to believe that you can waste your money like that. Isn't that wasteful? The Chinese don't get it. Now, see, this is the problem with modern day Chinese. They don't get it anymore. They lose their Chinese wisdom already. You see that? Quý vị thấy không? Cái vấn đề thầy hỏi, quý vị ta hỏi cái này tại vì nhiều quý vị hơi sợ thầy, như thầy nói chuyện hơi mạnh mẽ thì có nhiều người sợ. Thầy hỏi quý vị, nếu mà lấy tất cả của cải mình mà vứt vào đổ xuống biển, có phải là phí phạm sao? Phí không Quảng Ngân? Phí thế mồ, đúng không? Chẳng thà mình cho chùa, mình cho nhà thờ, mình cho làm chuyện từ thiện, không phải nó có lý không? Tại sao phí như vậy? Isn't that a waste? Huh? What's so wise about that? The Buddhists have gone crazy. I don't want you to walk away and say, these Buddhists sounds good, but I think deep down they're crazy. Tại sao như vậy? Yes, Mr. Texan. Talking about giving it all, throw it all away, just like that. I just don't see it. I just don't see you doing it, or John doing it. Go to your bank, take out all the money, hire a boat out to the ocean? Here. Can you do that? Yeah, you're too smart, right? Or too dumb? You wouldn't do it because you can't do it yet. Why? What's so wise about it? Chứ hệ chỗ nào? Tại sao mình phí phạm như vậy? Why such a waste? Jimmy says, this is awful. The Chinese, they're so wasteful. No, you didn't say that? I see these Vietnamese faces looking at me. Yeah. We would never do that either. Yeah? What do you think? Is it a waste?
There must be something fortuitous about giving it to the dragon.
It's fascinating. The Chinese are fascinated with these stories. They keep on telling, that is wisdom. That is really meditation skills. And the non-Chinese have a hard time. Even modern day Chinese have a hard time. They don't see it. You young lady, what do you think? Huh? You. Huh? What do you think? Yeah. Huh? Cái vị nghĩ sao? Không phí hả? Sao vậy? Yeah.
Thầy, bây giờ giống ổng bố thí cho người ta đi, bố thí cái tiền bạc cho người ta đi. Cái những người đó làm ăn mà lên nữa đó, nó đi tạo thêm cái nghiệp nữa thì ổng đâu được giải thoát. Thì con nghĩ như vậy.
Nhớ thì bố thí cho chùa. Tại sao không bố thí cho chùa? Tại sao không bố thí cho thầy? Thầy hỏi cho rõ. She said this is Vietnamese wisdom, Vietnamese Chinese. She says, if you give it to someone, let's say your children, and they make money, they make more money out of it. Okay? And then they suffer more. Right? So remember, if you have more money, you have more attachments, you'll end up being unhappier. Okay? According to this law. Okay? According to Master's law. According to this logic. So I said, you are right. So you don't give it to your children. That's it. Well, why can't you give it to the temple? Especially give it to Master. John says, no. Hả? Phí không? Không cho con thì cho chùa. Tại sao? Why not? Yes?
Well, there will probably always be some attachment to, the marks of giving, or they'll honor you as this big donor, or.
So theoretical. Excuse me. Nói là còn chấp trước về cái tướng là cho tướng bố thí. Bhante. Why? What's so wise about taking your money and dumping in the ocean in such a wasteful act? It's very charming, very meditation. Cái này là cái trí huệ của thiền. This is meditation wisdom. Let's see if the Hinayana understand it yet. Yes? Pressure is on you. What's so wise about it? This is why the Chinese is so fascinated. So, wow, this is the ultimate act. And none of you modern day people can explain to me why. Cái này là người Trung Hoa đời xưa, người ta nói cái này là thiệt sự được có trí huệ. Mà không ai giảng nghĩa, cứ thầy biết tại sao nó không phí phạm. None of you can explain to me based on your modern day understanding. It's such a wasteful act.
Cái tiền đó là theo cái người đó nghĩ là dĩ nhiên cái thân họ nghĩ là vô ngàn họ mới có lên, còn cái tiền của cái nghiệp khác họ được cái tiền đó, mà nhiều nghiệp thiện họ mới được cái tiền đó, cho nên họ dứt khoát không còn cái gì dính mắc.
They want to detach. but it's a waste, vẫn là phí phạm. He's not addressing the wasteful aspect. Okay? See, for us, logical people, it's such a waste. It doesn't seem to be like wisdom. I feel it's a waste. I think they should at least give it to me, some of it to me. Đối với thầy, thầy nói cái việc thầy nghĩ nó hơi phí một tí. Tại vì thầy nghĩ nhất họ cho thầy một tí nữa nó có lợi hơn. Yes, John. Fix. How come you applaud him? You don't ever applaud me.
Because I'm trying to say dumb blunt, unlike you.
I live. Okay. You got that? You got that? It's so subtle. I throw away my attachment, but I don't want you to get my attachment. Isn't it beautiful? Do you understand that? I will not defile you with my defilements. The Hinayana doesn't get it. Hay dễ sợ. Nên là tôi xả cái chấp trước của tôi là cái tiền của tôi, nhưng đều tôi không làm cái vì dơ bẩn với cái chấp trước của tôi. Dễ sợ không? Tế nhì như vậy đó. Tôi không làm bẩn quý vị đâu. Thiền đó, cái đó là cái thiền đó. Có thấy cái thiền ở trong đó không? Thấy cái thiền vị ở trong đó không? Cái này dơ bẩn đó. Quý đụng làm cái gì? Quý đụng làm cái gì? Chùa lấy làm cái gì? Chùa mà lấy đồ dơ bẩn làm cái gì? Dễ sợ không? You see the beautiful there? He says, for monks like me, ordinary monks like me, at least give me some. Give me one. Give me two. He says, no. You don't want this kind of defilement. That's why the Chinese love it. I said, this is the ultimate act of wisdom. No attachment. And you will not defile others with your attachments. Just throw it away. Hay dễ sợ không? Cái đây là cái này trí huệ chân chính đó. Thấy cái này thiệt sự là dơ bẩn, thành không cần cho cái dơ bẩn cho bất cứ ai hết. Dễ sợ không? Hả? You get that, Ginny? Huh? I still want some. Okay? So, can you make a case for someone to give it to you? For him to give some to you? Can you? Can you say, just give me some? I promise I won't be defiled. Then you attach the mark of receiving. You see that? Regardless, if you ask for some, he gives you anything at all, okay? Then you attach to that mark of receiving. So he says, I'm defiling you. I am defiling you when you take it from me. So I will not give it to you. Thế con thấy cái tiếng sâu xa dễ sợ không? Mình mà nhận thì mình chấp vào cái tướng nhận là mình dơ bẩn. Thành ông không cho cái dơ bẩn tới mình được. Yes, text.
At the same time, giving is the greatest virtue.
If you ask me, maybe he gets more blessings out of giving to a temple than throwing out in the ocean. That's my excuse for wanting some. Okay? I mean, Bhante says, yeah, these Mahayana people, they talk about detachment, but they're so attached. I'm glad I'm Hinayana. He has a smirk on his face. It's so obvious. He's you Mahayana people. See, he caught him red-handed. Can't even explain for himself. He's new, actually. He's only here for a month so far, so his English is not very good. So I always put pressure on him. Anyway, you see that? What is all right. Anyway, I don't want to beat this dead horse. I think you guys are not impressed by it anyway, so it's too Chinese.
We are.
Hmm?
I'm amazed at the thing.
So,
Nobody here can
going back to the theme, what is the method to let go? Okay? And I said there's many, many ways. And the ultimate way, the most powerful way is to drop it. That's it. Okay? Thành thầy nói, rất có nhiều cái phương pháp để mà xả. Mà cái phương pháp mà có hữu hiệu nhất, mà lẻ nhất là vứt lên cái chạch. Như cái ông cư sĩ Bằng. The best way is a layman punk. Drop it. Throw it. As far as you can. Make sure you cannot get to it anymore. Throw it and then throw it away and don't remember where you threw it at. Because following day you change your mind. Okay? Vứt. Mà đừng có nhớ, đừng có nhìn cái dấu mà lần sau ngày mai tới lượm lại. Any questions about that? The most powerful form is just drop it. Throw it out. Why? Tại sao như vậy? Because right here. Because really, deep down, it's no big deal. Why do you make a big deal out of everything? Tại vì cái phương pháp mà hữu hiệu nhất là mình cái xả cái vất thôi. Không cần biết, xả này. Ok? Tại sao như vậy? Tại vì không có gì quan trọng cái đồ như vậy đâu. Không có gì quan trọng. Cái vì còn thấy quan trọng cái vì còn sai. Vì cần thấy không có gì quan trọng cái đồ. Người ta chửi cũng được. Ta khen cũng được. Ok? Ăn ngon cũng được, ăn dở cũng được. Nghèo cũng được, giàu cũng được. Cái gì đâu. Cái gì đâu mà ôm chặt dữ vậy. Nhìn bám víu dữ vậy. Why are you so clingy? Why do you cling to your wife so much? I ask you. Why are you cling to your wife and your girlfriend so much? Huh? Tell me. Why are you so quiet? Okay. I look at Kim Ding, I can't tell. I don't know what to ask her. Because she's so detached already. Okay, any questions? Yes.
I feel like it's very habitual though. Like I look at all these, I have all these things to do and I get attached to trying to do a good job at them, or I feel overwhelmed because I can't handle them all. I look at them and I think that it's not a big deal. None of it is really that important.
Right.
I can see that, but it's still habitually I get these habit energies or whatever where I get worried about them and get stressed about it.
Yeah.
It's very hard to drop it, even if I sort of look at it and think like you're saying that it shouldn't be a big deal. I can see that.
Yeah. So?
Yet I still can't just put it down.
You can't put it down. Okay? Then learn to put it down quicker. Learn to drop it. Let it fall by itself. The reason it's not falling because you hang on to it. That's all. This is what this statement is saying. You see, it sounds literary, but actually it's very physical. Just drop it. It falls by itself. The reason it's still up here is because you hang on to it. All you have to do is drop it. That's it. It's the fact that difficulty is you have come up with these excuses for you not to drop. And once you convince yourself to drop it, like Layman Pang, the Chinese guy, that's it. You're done. You move on. What's so difficult about it? Quý vị thấy không? Có người nói mình bỏ nói thì dễ mà làm không được. Thế là tại vì quý vị tự quyết định là mình làm không được. You decide you cannot do it. Remember? You decide yourself you can't do it. I can't do that. Tại vì theo cái định luật, theo cái luật của thiên nhiên á, quý vị chỉ cần thả nó tự động nó rớt à. Mình không cần làm gì nữa hết á. This is the most efficient use of your strength. Just drop it. Don't have to do anything else. Wouldn't you call that wisdom?
Yes.
Vì thấy nó hay dễ sợ. Theo cái luật thiên nhiên nó tự động nó sẽ rớt. Mình thả nó thôi, mình không cần làm gì nữa hết. Mình không phí một cái gì hết. Chào.
Con xin hỏi thầy. Thầy nói cái câu đó, thầy nói hết cái xả báo thân bốn vị đó, cha con vợ chồng đó, thầy nói cho người ta nghe hết luôn. Ai Di Đà Phật.
Cha con vợ chồng mới có hai à?
Thì ông họ Bằng á.
Họ Bằng hả?
Thầy nói tới đây rồi còn thêm chút xíu nữa thầy nói hết đi để cho người ta thắc mắc.
Xả cái ơn nào?
Mấy cái ông đó ông xả cái báo thân nó cuối cùng đó chết 4 năm đó. Ông
Kể chuyện chết của họ hả?
Chết đó, sự kể cái
Con gì mà nói từng chuyện chết không?
cái đó là nói cái chết nó đã xả.
She says, why did you finish the story of that layman Pang? Because tell me how they die. I said, what are you talking about death? I don't want to talk about death. I want to talk about life.
Cái chết nó dễ như vậy.
Thầy đừng nói chuyện sống, thầy chưa nói chuyện chết.
Tại vì thầy nói còn chút xíu.
He said, you're so close in the story. I said, no, I still want to stick to life. I don't want to talk about death yet.
Thầy nói chuyện chút gì.
He said, but you should talk about death. I said, no, I don't want to. I'm attached to life.
Không có nói nữa, tại vì cái câu chuyện còn chút xíu.
She's attached to death. I'm attached to life. Yeah, I refuse to talk about death. She said, but you should talk about death. I said, no, I don't want to. She said, but you should. I said, no, I don't want to. She keeps on saying that. She's so attached to death. Cái bà này chuyên môn là chấp vào cái chuyện chết. Thầy nhất định thầy nói sống, bà nhất định là chết.
Không nói là ông tích đó. Thì thầy nói tới cái người xả như vậy mà chết cách nào đó mà ai Di
She said, you should explain that. I said, no, I don't. Nhất định nói, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm sorry. It's my lecture. Nhất định thầy cũng nói. Nhiều khi mình nói để người ta khó chịu, người ta thắc mắc không? Tại sao ông nhất định nói chuyện chết? Thì lần sau tới nghe mình mới nói. I explained to her. Sometimes the lecturer is strict. Sometimes we say, but there's a death thing, but I'm not talking about that. Maybe another time. Okay? That way you have to come back to hear the rest of the story. Yes, Jeannie. What?
Feel free to tell that part and kind of flip side for you.
Yeah. Yes, Jeannie, you have a question? The what? High samadhi power is what? A wiser? Yes, absolutely. Yes. The higher your your mind ability to concentrate. The more intense your concentration, the more wisdom you have. That's natural. It happens naturally. Yeah, you don't have to think about it. You said, don't say, I go to Chan class, and I learn how to have samadhi power now. But when is my wisdom coming? As soon as you have samadhi power, wisdom is right there. You don't have to do anything. Nothing. You just have to listen to my lectures. That's all. Yes. Yes. You are so happy. Ultimately, before you leave and go have a drink with your friend, if you are free from attachments, it is incredibly blissful. You don't realize how happy you can be. You cannot imagine it right now because you're so full of attachments. In other words, you're so unhappy right now. It's impossible to tell you how happy you can really be by detaching. Okay? The happiness you're experiencing right now, Ginny, is only a form of confusion. You think it's happy, but you don't realize the unhappiness behind it. Okay, so that's why it's not complete. It's not total happiness. You reach a state when you're free from all attachments. You're so detached. That state of happiness has no side effects. Has no undercurrent of unhappiness, undercurrent of suffering. You see, because right now your pleasure and suffering are all together. It's just like the palm of the hand. When you see happiness here, behind it, there's unhappiness. You don't realize is that so. You see that? As long as you have an attachment here, you're unhappy. Whether you're aware of it or not, whether you know of it or not. Quý vị biết cái này quan trọng lắm. Cô hỏi là khi mà cái định lực tới rồi thì cái huệ nó có mở không? Thầy nói khi mà cái định lực nó càng ngày càng cao thì cái huệ từng ngày tự động nó càng cao theo, nó song song với nhau. Quý vị không cần phải nói là tôi tới trình độ định lực này, cái huệ tôi chừng nào. Khi quý vị tới cái định lực đó, tự động cái huệ nó, cái định lực nó cùng một cái với nhau, cùng một chỗ với nhau. Ok, không cần phải lo gì hết. Ok, thành ra thầy nói là cái chuyện mà quý vị không hiểu đó, khi mà quý vị khi mình mà tới cái cảnh giới mà không còn chấp trước nữa, nó sướng không thể tưởng được, nó sướng không thể tưởng tượng được. Chứ còn hiện bây giờ cái sung sướng quý vị như cái bàn tay vậy, trước quý vị thấy cái sướng thì sau lưng nó có cái khổ mà quý vị không thấy, là thành cái sướng cái khổ nó cứ xen kẽ với nhau hoài, để ý không? Lúc mà mình cái tiền làm mình sướng, rồi lúc cái tiền làm mình khổ, đúng không? Sướng là thì mình mua xài ăn thoải mái, cái khổ là mình lo sợ mất, sợ người ta gạt, ok? Lo sợ người ta thương tiền, người ta không thương mình nữa, thấy khổ không? Nó đi đôi với nhau. I explain Vietnamese right now because these women don't understand it yet. That you know the nature of your pleasure and suffering are all combined. But what you see as pleasure right now, right with it is suffering. For example, you think that having money makes you happy. Yes, it does. It allows you to be more generous, allows you to spend more, to buy that Louis Vuitton bag, to buy that nice Corvette where you can give a ride to Johnson Dunblon, that kind of thing. You get those things. But on the back of it, there's unhappiness. Because what? You're afraid to lose it. You worry that you don't have enough for tomorrow. You worry that you're not making the right investments. You worry that people will rob you. You worry your wife will divorce you. You worry your girlfriend doesn't really love you for you, but maybe it's for the Corvette you give her. Okay? So the nature of our suffering, our pleasure right now is suffering, pleasure intertwined. It flips all the time. You notice that?
Yes.
See that? One moment you're happy, next moment you're unhappy about it. With money. That's the nature of our existence. When you go to the state of being devoid from attachments, from being detached, okay? There's no more two sides, only sheer happiness. It's pure happiness. That's the difference. Yes?
That's true. In some states, once you achieve it, you always constantly making the happiness grow.
Absolutely.
Because the love is just constant.
Yes, you can. You can. You can. You are able to. Yes, you're able to. Yes. You still go shopping. You're still happy. But now you go shopping, you're truly happy. You go hang out with your friends. Boy, are you happy. Okay? No more unhappiness. No more this flip side. Okay? Any questions? Ai thắc mắc về cái chuyện này không? This is a true state that the Buddhist disciples attain already. Right, Bhante? Yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. Yes. Cái này thiệt sự là cái chân chính, cái hạnh phúc chân chính là khi mình lúc tới cảnh giới mình không còn chấp trước nữa thì lúc đó mình hoàn toàn thực sự là sung sướng. Ok? Có nghĩa là khi mình đi chợ cũng sung sướng, mà không đi chợ cũng sung sướng. Không có chấp trước cái gì hết. Bất cứ chuyện gì xảy ra mình hoàn toàn sung sướng. Okay? No matter what happens, you're happy. It snows, you're happy. It rains, you're happy. It's too hot, you're still happy. It's too cold, you're still happy. Hungry, you're happy. Eating a lot, you're happy. Yeah? Even when your wife scolds you, you're still happy. Your girlfriend leaves you for another man, you're still happy. You're really happy, no matter what. How about that? Huh? That's true happiness, don't you think? You're happy regardless of what happens. Cái sung sướng thật nó chân chính khi nào bất cứ chuyện gì xảy ra, quý vị vẫn sung sướng như vậy. Now I lost my screen. I'm still happy. I'm still happy. Okay. So you see, at that stage, this is exactly what it says. Cái cảnh giới đó là bất cứ chuyện gì xảy ra, mình cũng phây phây. Okay? That's what I should explain them in Vietnamese. Bất cứ chuyện gì xảy ra, mình phây phây. Meaning that, no matter what happens, okay, you're happy regardless. And that's Buddhist wisdom. That's true wisdom, Jenny. Okay? Tinh ở tụng mà. She's not translating anymore, your translator. She's sitting there and saying, I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. Let me see. I'm almost there. Except for my car, my parents.
My translation.
My temple. Okay? You see that? You see, you can begin right now. You learn to be happy with what you have. You learn to be happy with what you have. Don't have to seek. If it comes, it comes. That's what he says. It's no big deal. Why do you keep on agitating yourself? Cái này nó quan trọng. Tại vì nói là bất cứ chuyện gì xảy ra, mình vẫn sung sướng như thường. Mình không cần tìm cầu nữa. Có cũng được, Không có cũng được. You know that for 4 years, I've been unhappy for 4 years because my temple has no statue in front. Quý vị biết không, 4 năm rồi á, thầy rất là buồn tại vì cái chùa mình không có một cái tượng ở trước chùa nữa. And today I'm very happy because finally I said, even if there's no statue in front of the temple, I don't care. 4 years. I've been unhappy for 4 years. Okay, until last week they gave me a statue. I didn't ask for it. They gave me a statue. Now I realize that finally I can be really happy because no more happens anymore. I don't care. Thành ra ngày hôm nay là 4 năm thầy khổ sở trong tâm, cái khổ sở tại sao cái chùa mà không giống cái chùa tí nào, khổ ghê. Mà không ai biết đó. Là mình khổ sở. Cái ngày tuần vừa rồi có người cúng, có cái nhóm cúng cái tượng, thầy mới cuối cùng thầy mới hiểu. Bây giờ thầy có thiệt sự hạnh phúc là tại sao vậy? Nếu không có tượng thầy cũng không sao hết á. Giờ không thèm cái tượng nữa. Có rồi mới không thèm được. You see? You understand that? You think I'm kidding? Yes, John. You think I'm kidding? Yes. I'm going to get 3 more. Cái ông này ông nói là như vậy, phải chi mà thầy có được 2 cái tượng, thầy nó không có rồi thì có 3 cái tượng nữa chứ không phải 2 tượng đâu. It's being delivered. 3 more are being delivered. You see, that's why I said now there's no more statue in the temple. I don't care. Bởi vì thầy mới nói bây giờ thầy không thèm tượng nữa, bây giờ có 4 cái rồi. You think I'm kidding? Yes. There's a wisdom behind it. Yes.
It's harder to cut your attachment to something if you can't literally drop it if you're still in the midst of it. Like Laban Pang, he literally threw his money out. He didn't have it anymore.
Yes.
But say somebody like a layperson, they want to become detached from their wife, but they're not going to get divorced. They still live with their wife.
Yeah.
That makes it harder.
Yes.
You have to cut the attachment even though the object is still there.
I wouldn't call her object, but...
Yeah. The object of your attachment.
You have to be careful. There are some feminist women over here. You have to be careful. You know, you're not the master yet. When you sit up here, you can say anything you can take chances. So what do? It's difficult. What do? That's part of the challenge of life. Is that easy? And then life is not that interesting, is it? It's so easy. It's just like so easy to get her love. What's so challenging about it? You lose interest. You have to work for it. That's part of the fun. The fun is in doing, not getting. See, he's so attached to getting there. Drop it, my boy. You get it? Your question is right. Even you sit there and you choose to suffer because I'm not there yet. I want to get there. Drop the I want to get there. Just keep on trying. Okay? Ông nói là nói thì dễ mà làm thì khó. Chẳng như mình biết là mình phải xả, mình xả không được. Sao bây giờ khổ tâm vậy sao? Thầy nói cái việc đầu tiên con làm là con xả luôn, con thèm, con chấp vào cái thành công, thấy không? Chấp vào là tôi phải làm được, cái đó là một cái chấp trước, cái xả cái đó trước. Mình cố gắng thôi. You get the drift. If you understand, you try. You don't say I must succeed. The must succeed is not necessary. Thấy không? Đừng có đòi. Mình chỉ cố gắng mình làm thôi, mình thấy đúng mình làm thôi. If you think it's right, do it. Keep doing the right things, you get there. It's no big deal. Remember? Even when you get there, it's no big deal. ultimately. To get there is no big deal either. Drop everything. John says, yeah, I still stick to my Dharma door. Okay? All right. We have a meeting right now, so I'd love to hang around with you, but just to let you know, we got back to exactly where we left the last time, after 2 hours. So that's what they say. It's no big deal. We wasted 2 hours talking about nonsense. This is no big deal. That's a real exercise right there. Kim Ding says, you make me take notes of 2 hours and I exactly got where we were last week. If I knew, I wouldn't even show up today. This is exactly where we left off last time. Isn't that cool?
Takes a lot to understand this.
That's how interesting this is.
I like her already. oh, please. Please. Thank you. Okay, so I don't need to say this. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. What we're going to do next is transference to help these people over there. Okay? Take 10 minutes. You can leave too. You're in a hurry, but we do what is called a transference to give it away. Give the goodness we created away. Page 38.
Give us a minute.